stick around, come through and dig the sound of the fly brown 6060 cycle. Who those hits around?
Welcome to another exciting episode of Wine Down with Kev, where we're on a mission to do 50 podcasts with 50 agents from 50 different states. Let me start off with gratitude. Thank you. Big thank you to all of you that have subscribed to these podcasts, that have hit the notification button. We could not do it without you. Also, big shout out to my sponsors. You'll see their logo and information flashing in the background. Canopy Connect. If you're looking to get information faster, more efficiently to write more business, work with Canopy Connect. And my social media partner, Carol Media. If you're looking to make 1 million impressions on social media, like I have with the help of Carol Media, please reach out to them and definitely work with them. They will get you there. Lastly, I always want to acknowledge my financial partner, my bank, Wintrust Bank. But today, I'm excited to do something that we have not done before. We have been on a journey to interview 50 agents from 50 states on this podcast, but today we have a first, and I love when we have something that's a first, that's new and different. This agent that we're bringing on today is a winner of the $1 Million Roundtable. This agent was the #1 exclusive financial specialist in the country, not only in 2022, but in 2023 as well. She's also been recognized for her efforts and her expertise in many products in her local community. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your Wine Down with Kev hands together and give a warm welcome to Kelly Wood Spicer. Hey, Kelly, how are you?
I'm great. It's awesome to be here.
It's honored. Awesome. Go ahead.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, I am honored to have you as a guest. So, Kelly, I did my best with that introduction, but tell the people something about you that I left out.
So, I am not the top financial EFS in the nation. I am the top life insurance producing EFS. There's a couple of people above me for a top financial rep, but I did want to correct that because everybody works hard over here to get those accolades. I am the top female one, so we can say that.
I love that. Don't take away from your thunder. Just take it and blame me later. Kelly, talk to us. Let's start off just by acknowledging your family. I did my research by checking your social media, and you can shout out your husband, your daughters. I love your post about your daughter. She sounds like a perfect angel. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, which one? It's a Taryn is 23. She graduated from college in December, UNC Wilmington, and she has her first big girl job. She is director of leisure at a retirement community in Wilmington. So she's decided to stay there and live. I have a 17-year-old son who's in high school, and he's a junior, so he will be graduating next year. And then the 11-year-old is the one I think you are referring to, Emily.
Yes.
Yes. Emily looks like her dad, but she is very much her mom. So we'll just leave it at that.
Beautiful, beautiful. A ball of fire?
Yes, absolutely. Just very, you could tell she grew up around older siblings. So I'll just leave it at that. She has very, very perfect vocabulary, but she will put you in your place, and she does not take a lot of junk off of people. So yeah, she's the one we're gonna have to watch. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So Kelly, we're gonna get into the insurance stuff in a minute, but talk to the people a little bit when you're not helping agents with life insurance, helping customers with the variety of products that you sell. What do you do for fun in North Carolina? Invite us to North Carolina for a minute. Tell us what the weather is like today and what some things that you and the family may have lined up for fun this weekend.
So today it's around, looking outside now, it's about 53 degrees. It should be up in the upper 60s. This is a weird time of year. It could be really, really cold one day and then really, really hot the next. So it's just a very weird time of year in North Carolina. But this weekend, normally we are so scattered with the children's schedules. This weekend we will be in Myrtle Beach for a cheer competition for the youngest, Emily. So we are looking forward to that and getting away from North Carolina for a little while, but then we'll pop back and everything will start over again on Monday. But yeah, her cheer season usually runs from January to April. So we're pretty tied up with that, as far as our fun goes. And then in the summer, we spend a lot of time in the Outer Banks. My mother-in-law owns a place there, so we spend a lot of time there. But that's about it. As far as fun goes, most of my fun is work. If that makes any sense at all.
No, I do understand. That's relatable. So let me ask you one question about the cheer competition. What kind of cheer mom are you? Are you like quietly
No.
clapping and being supportive and respecting the others, or are you going haywire in there while she tries to win?
No, I am not going haywire. I am 48 years old, and my older daughter and I have this conversation all the time that I am not the same mother to Emily that I was to Taryn. I'm just over a fair amount of things, so I am not that cheer mom. I show up, I clap. That she is literally on stage for 2.5 minutes, and then she turns around and does it again the next day, and then we're done. And I go in there, I clap for her, and this is her passion. I'll support it, but I could really take or leave it, to be honest with you.
Be careful. She's going to listen to this.
As long as she is passionate about it, I will support it. As the same thing goes for anybody else on this team and anybody else in this family. If you are passionate and on fire about it, I will throw every resource I have at it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So that's a perfect pivot. It sounds like you were a different person with your older daughter, father of three myself. The first time around, it's a little bit more intense. We're living through them vicariously. We're trying to help them on the field or on the stage in the competition and be a part of it. But as we get a little older, I hope I'm getting more mature. I'm never sure, but maybe a little bit wiser and a little bit calmer. I'm never sure.
Do you ever have those moments where you're like, I have moments like this all the time where I'm like, I'm somebody's mom. Who let this happen? So yeah, I still at 48 years old get like that. And when Taryn was graduating from college, I was like, how do we even get here? How do I have children? I have moments like that a lot. So
out of body experience.
Anybody else out there that might be experiencing that, like I have that quite a bit. Like how do I have an 11-year-old at 48 years old? So.
Definitely relatable to a large part of the audience. So, Kelly, for the people out there, many people think of Allstate. They think of an Allstate property and casualty agent like myself. They think of car insurance. They think of home insurance. And unfortunately, most of the public does not even know that we offer life insurance and other financial products. And they don't know that we have someone awesome like you in our universe that can help them. So for the listening audience that's not familiar with what an exclusive financial specialist does, why don't you talk a little bit about your role within Allstate and how you help your agent partners?
So the agent partners have financial goals that they have to meet. Our job is to kind of get in there and help them and assist them with those financial goals. And I present myself as part of their team. We are currently in 52 e-agents. So there's not a time there's anything lacking to do over here. But for the most part, EFSs are designed to help EAs, exclusive agents, with their financial service goals. And a lot of us are chasing the assets and things like that. That was never really my wheelhouse. I started doing this when I was 20. And my father was a Farm Bureau agent for close to 30 years before this. So I think there's never been a point in my life where insurance hasn't supported me in some way, shape, or form. But my passion was the life insurance part of it. My dad delivered a death claim to somebody who was my age, or not my age, but her father was his age, and she was my age. And I saw the power in that. My grandmother also died and left us money through life insurance. So I've got a few examples of why I chose this particular part of the industry. But I also sat in the P&C side of this for 14 years with State Farm. So I am able to relate to the staff in the office a little bit better, I think. But my main goal is to get everybody in those agencies well aware of what we do, why we do it, how we do it, and just help them from there as far as, we cover your wheels and walls. We're not covering the people who pay for those things. It is my job to keep you off of a GoFundMe page. Give me 10 minutes and let me see how I can help.
Oh my gosh. I love everything that you said. So, hey DJ, what's up? I'm in the middle of recording the podcast.
I know, man.
No. Yeah. So, this guy, we want to talk about something different. He's trying to get his website and his Google My Business page going.
Yeah, I know.
Everybody knows you helped me to get to the 2 Comma Club, and be seen by a couple of million people. But this person wants to do something different. They're trying to run ads to their book of business, their model line campaigns and stuff like that.
I know, Kev.
Oh man. Well, DJ, talk to the people, man, so I can get back to the podcast. How can you help?
Yeah, man. So listen, I can help you by running monoline ads to your auto, your home, as well as optimizing your website, your Google business profile, and your social media outlets. We can do the exact same thing we've done for Kevin over the years and get you in front of millions of sets of eyeballs to help you grow your business. Contact Carroll Media today. Kev, let them know.
DJ, I appreciate you jumping in the podcast. Hit up Carroll Media. DJ, I gotta go. I gotta get back to the podcast.
I know.
Let's dig into those 2 claims experiences and how that was a pivotal moment in your life. One in watching your dad do it, and one being the beneficiary of your grandmother's good planning. Let's dive into those stories one at a time, and maybe put a number on the age of this father and the age of your friend when she lost her dad, which is very emotionally devastating for all of us. Anyone that's had love and has had loss, which is something that if you haven't experienced it yet, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but it's something we're all going to deal with. There's only one way out of here. But delivering life insurance at that critical time makes a big difference. So let's talk about that legacy moment with your dad, what you saw, what it meant to you, and how that impacted the career that you chose.
Well, he had been in Farm Bureau is very big in property and casualty as well. But that was one of the moments where I paused and I was like, okay, this is what he does. What he does matters. And I tell our team that as well. What we do matters. And this is why it matters, because he was on a golf course with this man a couple of years before all of this happened. And they were just having a casual conversation. And he said, I don't think you have enough life insurance. What is your wife going to do if you were to pass away right now? You've got 2 teenage children. And he's like, you're right. And they took a look at it, and then they ended up doing $750,000. And my dad delivered that death claim to the mother of my friend. And I for privacy reasons, I don't really mention their names.
That's
but
fine. Yes.
She was able to stay in her school. She was able to go to college. She was able to do things that, had that money not been there, I don't know that the stay-at-home mother would have been able to sustain the lifestyle their dad had made them accustomed to. So to me, that was a big deal. I was 17 when that happened, and that was a really big deal. I think looking back now, it was a bigger deal than it was in the moment. I was like, at that moment it clicked. This is what my dad does, and what my dad does matters. Because before it was, he's an insurance agent. He can insure your home and your car and things like that. But I think at that moment it was, my dad took that a step further and said, hey, you got a problem and I've got a solution, and let's sit down and talk about it. Because even though they were friends, it is difficult to have these conversations with your friends, but yes, he thought it was important enough to have it. And had he made a different decision, my dad would have still felt better knowing I had the conversation. I did my job, but you didn't do yours. It turns out he did do his job. And even today, this was, 20 some years ago, well, actually 30 years ago. So even to this day, that money's they still have it. It was properly invested, and they still continue to live off of it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I like to call life insurance love insurance.
Yes.
That shows that father's love. I tell
people all the time, send your love ahead. Don't send me flowers.
Yes. Yes. No, not at all. Send something that lasts a little bit longer. Flowers are beautiful, but they wilt and they pass away. But life insurance is the gift that keeps on giving. So thank you for sharing that. An absolute respect to the privacy of that family. So the opposite side, you mentioned that you're the beneficiary of your grandmother's proper planning. Talk about that, and we can leave grandma's name private as well.
She left my brother, sister, and I money when she passed away, and left my father her assets. So that it basically set us up. We weren't able to touch it till we were much, much older. But my grandmother died when I was 19. And again, that was another portion of the planning my father did. He had tough conversations with people that they were really tough to have them with. And I relate that because I know how tough they are to have. My dad had a heart attack a couple of years ago, and we were standing in ICU. I mean, they literally bought the jumper paddles out and brought him back to life. And we were standing in ICU, and my brother and sister and I, they were asking us a lot of questions about his planning. Does he have an advance directive? Does he have a living will? I didn't know. And my brother and sister were both looking at me, and rightfully so. They were like, "You do this for a living and you never talk to our parents about it?"
Yes.
So that was another aha moment where luckily my dad is fine now. He's actually a member of my team. I bought him out of retirement when somebody quit.
Wow.
You got to come back. So he's
don't work him too hard.
Fine. But that was an aha moment for me as well. It's like, you're right. I have these conversations with complete strangers every day. And I need to start having them with people around me, just like he did, on a golf course, in a cheer studio. I have to make it just as important and make it a priority for these people as well, instead of tiptoeing around them thinking, oh, well, they probably got everything figured out. No, the vast majority of us do not have everything figured out. Yes. I do not have everything figured out, but I do know if I die right now, who this business goes to, what happens with my family, what happens with their money. I know all beyond the shadow of a doubt, somebody will take them by the hand and lead them through everything. There's a book, there's a process in place for the business. And it all goes back to succession planning and planning for these things that we know are going to happen. I tell my clients every day, you have 100% chance of dying, and I have a solution. That all of that's not your problem that you are going to be gone, but all of the things you leave behind, the mess you leave behind, there needs to be money here to take care of it. And I think when I come across authentic and honest about things, like, you are going to die. There's not a lot of people in this industry that will look somebody in the eye and say, you're going to die. So
my goodness,
I think that's probably a lot of where I drive my success from.
Your honesty and transparency. And if I could be transparent with you, it hurts my heart every time I'm on social media. I'm from a small community here in New York. Believe it or not, we have small communities. Every time I lose a friend or a family member of a friend, and I see the GoFundMe come up, right, and I haven't had that conversation, the amount of guilt that runs through my mind and my heart, it's unbelievable. And I think many other agents feel the exact same way. But you said something. I want to go back to that moment with your dad and your brother and sister saying, hey, this is what you do. I can remember losing my sister 2.5 years ago. Actually, she lived in South Carolina, and coming back, and my remaining brother and my remaining sisters, we went to dinner and we had that conversation. It wasn't a sales conversation. I sell insurance, buy from me, but what do you have in place? What should I do with your family? What do you have already? What do you need? So we had that tough conversations that every family needs to have while you're healthy, to say, hey, I've got it, or hey, I haven't taken care of anything. And I want to get your reaction to something. I saw a reel the other day which said, when some people pass away, they leave bills. When other people pass away, they leave wills. What's your reaction to that?
This is 100% accurate. Those are the two things you're going to leave behind. It's one or the other. I just know from everything I've seen happen in this industry. I have delivered death claims to people as young as 6 years old, whose parents thought it was important enough to. They locked those policies in, thinking, I'm going to go ahead and lock them into something I know they can afford the rest of their life. So they're not in their 30s and 40s trying to figure out how they're going to afford life insurance. They never thought that the death claim would pay out. But to hear their stories, those death claims were the reason they didn't have to go back to work, because in North Carolina, you get 3 days bereavement for the death of a child. Okay. So I know firsthand, if I lost one of my children, I'm probably not coming back to do this,
No.
especially have these conversations with people. I don't know that you wouldn't have to dig two holes.
Mhm.
I don't know how these people put one foot in front of the other, but and over the last few years, we've delivered quite a few more death claims to people under the age of 18, just as much as we have people under the age of 55. I know during COVID, every death claim I delivered was under the age of 55. Last year, everybody was under the age of 55. These people are dying younger, and it's not, sometimes you don't have time.
Yeah.
Everybody feels like they've got time. I'll take care of this will later. I'll do this later. Well, sometimes later doesn't happen. And it's very important to me to educate our clients. Even if they don't buy anything from me, they can say that girl sat down and educated me on what exactly is going to happen when I die. Because
Yeah.
everything that you do in that dash, that born date, then there's a dash in between there, and there's your death date. That death date is the rock solid where there is no coming back from that. That
No.
dash is all the time we have. And I don't know when that dash ends. But I do know I'm in front of you now, and I can educate you on what you need to do and how you need to get these affairs in order, especially if you have assets and young children. In North Carolina, your children, if you die without a will, your children become a ward of the state. So if both parents die together, your children are a ward of the state. And if there's no will in place telling the courts who you want to take care of your children, they could end up in foster care. These are
My
things we've seen. So it's not likely that they will. Usually a parent or a grandparent or a sibling will step forward, or an aunt or an uncle. But most of the time, that's what happens. Some of the time not. They end up in foster care, and it totally changes the trajectory of their entire life. When you had the power for probably 50, 60, 70, $100 a month, whatever you spend on coffee, to kind of take care of that.
My God. Hey, Ray, it's Kevin. What's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Nothing, man. You guys have been helping me out for a while with all the digital things you can do at Use Canopy, but some of my guys, they're still having a hard time adjusting to the digital age. Talk to the people, Ray, please.
Yes, sir. Well, Canopy Connect is the insurance data intake platform. Send a link out to your prospect. They, click on it, find their insurance carrier. We got like 350 insurance carriers on there. Click that, sign in, and they can be done there. You can ask them a few more questions you want, but we're going to pull all that insurance information, give it to you right in a nice dashboard.
That sounds pretty quick. What are we talking? 2 or 3 minutes?
Less. You can do that in 30 seconds, man.
Wow. Nick, you're a big time marketing guy. What do you think?
I think Canopy Connect is one of those tools that everybody should have in their back pocket. Makes it easy to use. You can send it out in emails and text messages. You can use it in social media campaigns, X-Date campaigns. All of those methods will work with Canopy Connect.
Guys, I got to get back to the podcast, but you heard it right here. Use Canopy Connect. Go digital. Leave old school in the past. Nick and Ray, I'll catch you guys later. Easy.
Let's go. See ya.
One of the things that I've learned wasn't really my intent in the beginning. I've learned a lot about different state laws and having these conversations with different agents from different states. And that's definitely resonates with me as new knowledge, and definitely impresses upon people in the state of North Carolina. And if you're listening, you're from another state. If you don't know your state law, you definitely should be speaking with a financial services professional like Kelly that can guide you in that area. So Kelly, you're physically in North Carolina, but you're licensed in, my God, several states. I've got California, Delaware, Georgia, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, Utah, Virginia. Am I missing any?
New Hampshire, Tennessee, Georgia, everything virtually up and down the East Coast.
I love it. And I didn't
Kansas,
say
I
your
had to get
favorite
licensed
new
in
place.
Kansas for a client. So, yeah.
I didn't say your favorite new place. I didn't say New York and New Jersey.
I'm licensed in New York. New York's not bad. I love the agents there. I have got to get used to the clients. It's hit or miss with them. I think it's the accent. So I told my operations manager, Kelly, I said, I think what we need is somebody who lives in North Carolina, but that they moved here from New York.
Well, there are plenty of those people.
Yeah, we need a transplant person.
I got it. I have plenty of friends that are first responders. Many of our police officers, correction officers, as soon as they retire at a young age, they do a beeline to the South. They head to North Carolina. My next door neighbor is much younger than me, retired. He's already bought a home in Myrtle Beach, where you talked about. So there's plenty of New Yorkers looking for the opportunity. So Kelly, talk to me about your team. You are not a one-woman operation. Talk to me about your team.
Team is absolutely amazing. It's probably more passionate about my team than I am this industry. It's taken me a while to cultivate all of them to where they are all in the right seats. And I'm a strong believer in having people in the right seats and where they're happy and where they're thriving. There's this saying that magic happens outside your comfort zone. No, I think putting people in their right seats and being uncomfortable is one thing. As a business owner, I have to stay uncomfortable. But as far as teams, they need to be in something they're thriving in and they're comfortable in, and they can do just like the back of their hand. So everything is divided up a little bit over here, where there's salespeople, and then the hierarchy goes to my operations manager, and her name is Callie Real. She handles everything over here. So when I'm having a little bit of a meltdown, I'll call her. She kind of brings me back down and says, okay, look, this isn't as bad as you think it is. I've got it. We're going to handle it. So she manages everything that I do not like to do, which is the paperwork.
Yes.
All of the stuff that I'm weak with. I am good in front of people, but
Yes.
she manages payroll. She manages all the details, all the little details that just would drive me insane. But I just want to sell. I want to be in front of people and having conversations all the time. I talk a lot. So that's what I am strong with. Her strengths are, she was a former school teacher. She came here just as a telemarketer one summer, and she never went back. And then we have a girl I went to high school with. Her name's Stephanie. She handles all of my back end. Once an application's entered in the system, she handles all of the getting them through underwriting things like their interview and their medical exams. And it does not come back to me until they are ready to sit down and have a conversation about how we want to place it in force. Jamie is another one. She's an admin for our other salespeople. She helps them do the same things that just Stephanie does for me. So I call them my core four. They are my leadership team for everything else going on over here. Then we have our telemarketers. There's 4 of them. And then we have a few more sales, EFAs is what we call them, exclusive financial associates. Carl Pretty is over here. He handles all of the securities. Stephen Nicholson is life and securities. So we have everything pretty much divided up where they have their own agencies. They're creating their own books, where I am primarily dealing with people with existing policies and just kind of reviewing those to see if we can pull assets out of those and my existing clientele. So we've all structured it a little bit where we can free up our time to do a lot of different things.
I love the business model that you built. I think you just crossed your 10th year anniversary with Allstate. If my research is correct, I think you started on about 2014. So you've built quite an operation. So Kelly, in a lot of these podcasts, I've talked to agents about natural disasters that affect their geographic area and how they handle it. Not your space, but last year you came to New York, you spoke at a conference, and you were actually talking about it on social media. There was a natural disaster that hit North Carolina, and we lost clients in that disaster. Young people, I think, that you're talking about. What was that experience like, learning about those families and being able to help them because you had properly protected them with life insurance?
It's hard. I think it's hard at this age, and I do kind of get in my head a little bit about it when yesterday, for example, my day started off with a death claim, and I did not write that policy, but I was the agent of record on it because it was passed to me from somebody else who retired. But a lot of the things that when I do write them, it does tend to, I think the older I get and the longer along I get in this industry, it does bother me on things that I wrote because these people I wasn't supposed to be around to deliver these death claims. Right. I think in my 20s, that's what I really thought. I'm going to write this and I will never be around to pay this out because they're going to live forever. And what I'm finding at 48 is that's not true.
Right.
So with the natural disaster here was the flood, and that was in the mountains, and that's somewhere typically that's not supposed to flood. In North Carolina, it's elevated, and
Mhm.
so a lot of people were washed away in their homes. Two of the people haven't even been found yet. So now we're dealing with North Carolina law on how long does somebody have to be missing to actually file a death claim? Is Allstate going to make concessions for those claims? And it's not even Allstate now; it's Everlake. So that's some of the things we're dealing with over here. But I think the older we get, the harder it gets to deliver those kind of claims, because especially if you wrote it because it wasn't something that was supposed to happen. But again, I'm in the business of protecting you against things that aren't supposed to happen.
No, it's called insurance for a reason.
Yeah.
Accidental, sudden for a reason. You know, if we knew the date and time, we could take care of everything the day before. But
Yeah.
that's not the order that it happens in. Kelly, with you having a license in so many states, how important is your digital presence and even the application process? I've been in the business for a long time. Don't know if you know or not, but I started off as a life underwriter trainee, one of those people that was reviewing paper applications and reading medical records and things of that nature to approve people. And it was a very manual process where the idea was, Kelly, what time can I come to your home and sit across the kitchen table from you and your husband and write you both up for life insurance? How different is that now in 2025? How much technology is involved from setting the appointment to executing the actual appointment? You know, I'm here in New York. I'm sure that you could take an application from me right now. How different is the process today from when you started 10, 11 years ago with us, or even when you started much earlier in the business?
Well, everything was face to face before COVID, and I'm much better face to face. Again, I can admit where I'm weak. I was taught in college that well, I'll go back a little bit, because I had a college professor that basically told me everything I was ever told that was wrong with me was actually all the things that were right with me. So you talk too much, you move around too much, things like that. So I've managed to take all of these things that I was told as a child, hey, stop talking.
Yes.
I've managed to turn that into a career now. So I think I'm much better face to face, because I can convey emotion a lot better face to face than I can over the phone. I do have people on my team that are stronger over the phone. However, COVID was a game changer for all of us. We had to adapt to being able to do things like this, and being able to do, and that's kind of when I started cultivating a lot of different things as far as, okay, well, I'm going to have to pivot a little bit and learn how to get comfortable with Zoom, Teams, things like that. So a lot of the business we did was over Zoom. We continue that way because nobody wants to come out of doing things that way. But I do have people, and it's really a geographical thing. I've noticed here there's different areas of the state where people just still want to meet face to face. They're just very good old fashioned people, and they want to meet face to face, and I'm fine with that. But for the most part, a lot of people are just so busy. They want to do things over. They want it done as fast as possible. And I've basically set up a team to get it done as fast as possible for them. So I think that's one thing we can all say over here is once we are sent a lead, we're on it, and we follow it through until they basically say, stop calling me, or they've just ghosted us so much. But even then I add them to email rotations. And last week we got a reply from an email we sent back in July, to saying something will eventually happen to trigger who was the one in front of them. So I do think the digital presence, it's a must in this day and age. Whereas before COVID, maybe not so much, but you have to have a big digital presence right now. Hence the podcast. And I have a digital marketing director now, Ashley. She's amazing. She manages most of the posts that you see, any of the promotions we run with staff, things like that. She cultivates all of that for me. So I don't have time to sit on Canva and make things. She takes all of that off my plate. And I think one of my biggest strengths is my time management. Can I pay somebody to do this in the time it would take me to do this? And I was trying to explain this to my husband the other day. It's girl math is what he calls it.
Yes.
It would take me 5 hours to clean my house. What can I make in 5 hours sitting on Zooms and in an office? What can I make in 5 hours versus paying somebody $150 to clean this house every week?
Yes.
It's not that I don't want to clean the house per se. I really don't. But what can I outsource at this point to my weaknesses, to where the house is clean? The kids are doing better. Like I pay somebody to get Emily to cheer a lot of times because my clients have to meet after 4:00. It is worth my time if she's going to be sitting in a gym from 4 to 9 p.m. on Tuesdays, for me to work late on Tuesday nights and say, okay, I can dedicate this amount of time for people who need after hours calls or appointments face to face if they're locally. It's one of those things where I mathematically sit down and say, okay, I can outsource all of this so I can do what I'm good at.
I love your thinking. I love what you're
My
doing
husband
in
calls it
there.
girl math, and he doesn't believe in it. So and I tell
That's
him, I'm
okay.
like, if you see Amazon packages on the front doorstep, just step over them. It didn't cost you anything. Just keep moving.
That's it. Hashtag girl math. That's new to me, but we're gonna use this when we post it. Kelly, typical day for you. Typical middle of the week day for you. What does that look like?
Oh, wow. I wish I could tell you it was all structured and pretty and perfect. But, okay, so today, right, just take today, for instance. All right, Emily wakes up at 1:11 a.m. I'm looking at the clock. She's wheezing. She has asthma. She's wheezing really bad. No albuterol in the house. Well, of course, we've run out because that's my life. So I'm up with her for a few hours trying to get her to calm back down. But we need to go to the doctor this morning. Totally unplanned. I have a full day of back-to-back things planned. So I call my assistant and I'm like, hey, can you hop on the phone and take some of these calls for me? I'm probably not coming back till around 11. And I'm not even going to lie, I look like a complete troll about 11:30 running back in this house because I took her to the doctor, came back here, went to the pharmacy, got her albuterol, of course, came back here. I had to get her lunch because she's high maintenance and needed Bojangles. So came back here, threw on makeup, threw on clothes, did my hair real quick, and literally logged on to this 10 minutes before it was on. So when you ask me what my typical day looks like, I'd love to tell you, oh, I'm just sitting here doing appointments. And I follow a calendar to a T, but everybody who knows me at all knows that is a complete lie. I think it drives my mother. Definitely, I'm more like my father, where I just fly by the seat of my pants. Okay, this happened. We got to change directions. My mother has to have a plan, and I'm not like that at all. And I think it drives her insane. And I know it drives my husband insane because he is very much a planner as well. But every time I plan anything, something like this happens. So maybe when the children are grown and gone, we can plan a little bit better. But for right now, if they get sick, and I will say this about my team. I do not run my team where they have to call me if there's something going on with one of their children.
Right.
Tell me what I got to do. I'll help you, but don't call me. And first of all, don't call me your boss. I'm not your boss.
Right.
Send me a text message and say, hey, so-and-so's sick. I need you to do this. We're all a team over here. And I think that's probably why we are as successful as we are, because I don't make people punch a clock. I don't tell people they can't go watch their kids win awards at school, or that they can't have time off to go to somebody's basketball game. I want you to be a mother. I want you to be a father. I want you to be all of those things before any of this is. We can prioritize over here what's important. But you know what? With life insurance, if people have put it off this long, they can probably wait one more day. So when I get off this podcast, I will go and I will retract and I'll say, I'm sorry, I'm late. And I will tell them why. And then they will either get mad or they won't. So I'd love to tell you I have everything mapped out day to day, but I don't. Mondays, typically I take off in the mornings so I can schedule all of the children's or my dental appointments, things like that, Monday mornings. And then I come in and work the rest of the day, Monday afternoons. And then Friday afternoons, I'm typically out of here about 3:00. But those are the only things I stick by. I don't require anybody to work weekends or after hours unless they just want to. We do have some telemarketers that prefer to work after hours because we do have agents in other time zones, and that actually works out well for me. I can always see the activity, but I also have a team of people who I can, when I'm in my bed at 11:00 at night, reassigning leads. I can see who's on their computer doing the same thing. So I know. So you don't have to tell them this, they know I need to be doing this now. So because I'm going to be off tomorrow. So I don't that's why I call them my core four. They are the ones that are pouring into, even after hours, they're the ones pouring into, and I give them all the credit for everything going on over here, that I would have never reached any kind of accolade with Allstate without developing my business, much like an EA develops theirs.
I love everything that you said. Best way I can summarize is that you're really comfortable in chaos. When life be lifing, as life always is, you can do the girl math and you can handle it.
Yep.
Kelly, we're circling the block and getting ready to land the plane, coming into our last few questions. With all that's happening, with the age span of your children, with the size of your business, juggling it all, how do you wind down at the end of the day? How do you decompress?
Lots of meds. No, I'm just kidding. No, honestly, I have a hot tub. I had to beg my husband. Well, actually, I didn't beg him. On any given day, one of us over here could be the breadwinner, so we don't keep score like that. But I had been saying for a while I wanted a hot tub, and just so happened there was this convention when he was on a charter fishing trip with his friends, and there was this convention here in town. I was like, I'm gonna go, and then all of a sudden I was like, I'm buying a hot tub, and my youngest, she was like, Daddy told you not to. Don't you take me back home if you're gonna do this. I don't want anything to do with this.
No parts of it.
I was like, I've worked really hard, and I think I want a hot tub, so I'll occasionally climb into a hot tub. Wine, I drink wine. I drink socially, but sometimes if it's just been a day and it's been a long day, and people from New York have been mean to me, I'll crawl in a bottle of wine or a glass or two. But other than that, I watch a lot of TV at night, just trying to get my mind off of whatever's going on that day. And I have to fall asleep with the TV on, which is another thing my husband hates. So sometimes I'll get up and get on the couch and watch TV, and then I'll come to bed. But he's a night owl anyway. But I usually try to be in bed by 11. Shortly after Emily goes to bed, I'll go in and.
I love it. So
Yeah.
I got a hot tub and wine out of that.
Wine.
Two solid recommendations. That is
if you're getting older, I highly recommend both. Very good for your back if it hurts a lot. So
no, it's good. It's good. Kelly, anything else that you wanted to share before we wrap up? I definitely want you to shout out your podcast or anything else that you're up to that you want to share in this podcast before we close it out.
So yes, I do. I partner with Aaron. He's also a member of our team for life insurance. He has an amazing story. I wouldn't say amazing. It's pretty sad. His wife died when their daughter was 2.5 of cancer, and she was in her 30s. She was 39. So he's been raising her by himself. And he talks a lot about how beneficial life insurance and her retirement and things like that were for him on our podcast. And our podcast is called the You Can't Sit With Us podcast.
Wow.
So you can find us on YouTube. We have not done our second season yet. We are in the process of setting all that up, setting up the studio, things like that. But we should be getting back to that sooner. He's doing some testing for his real estate exam. But he's actually got an amazing story too. But yeah, if I could leave everybody with anything, it would be most like, you've probably heard me say this before if you've heard me speak, Kevin. Your clients have 100% chance of dying. And they may never have a car accident, and their house will probably never burn to the ground, but they are going to die. And while we feel like it's okay to talk about your home and auto in your umbrella and things like that, but not even mention the big pink elephant in the room, we've got to get better at doing that. And that's the whole premise of my whole career, is having those tough conversations while they're easy to have.
Well, you did a fantastic job. It's resonating around the country. That's just so clear, so authentic. You say it with such passion and conviction. I know you're going to win in New York really big. We do things fast in New York in a New York minute. And when you get to that point and you give that real, honest, sincere, tough love, it's going to resonate big time. Kelly, thank you so much. You have been an absolutely fantastic guest. You've shared so many jewels that not only will benefit the agent audience that listens to this podcast, but it's going to resonate with people outside of the insurance business as well, the customers and consumers and the prospects that we're trying to reach. just the overall importance of life insurance because of the girl math that you shared, that there is 100% chance that we're all going to pass away. There's no other way out. And gentlemen who have an issue with the hashtag girl math, jump in the comments and argue with Kelly. You don't have to argue with me. I'll let Kelly respond to those.
I can teach anybody the girl math. I have got it down to a science.
It is 100%, and you are right. But thank you again so much. You've been an absolutely fantastic guest.
Absolutely.
Ladies
I'm
and
so
gentlemen,
honored that you chose me to represent North Carolina.
No brainer. I've seen the fire in you from your posts on social media. You were the only financial specialist that I wanted in this slot.
Awesome. Yeah, you got to let the fire within you. You always have to let the fire within you burn harder than the fire around you. That's something my dad told me. So
let's go, Dad.
And I will say this other part. We were just talking last night. He said, if you see a turtle on a fence post, never forget how it got there. Somebody put it there. So that's kind of why I give my team 100% of the credit for everything that goes on over here.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to tune into the Wine Down with Kev podcast. Thank you to all of you that have subscribed and hit the notifications button already. If you haven't done it before, do it now. Click on the link below. If you love this, you'll love the other content that we have coming. Thank you to our sponsors, Canopy Connect, Carroll Media, Wintrust Financial. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much. And thank you to our awesome guest that we had today, Mrs. Kelly Spicer.